and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Monday, August 10th, 2020. We got a full house. I'm Will. We got Wes back in the house. We got Mark. We got the Beeve. You boys are looking good. How you feeling today?
Very feeling good.
Yeah.
Like we look.
Like shit. Well, it's Monday.
Oh, really? Well, you look great, Beeve. I'm surprised you feel bad.
Well, the 7 Coca-Cola Classics I drank this weekend should be telling a different story, and the whole pizza I ate to myself and then the Chinese food. But yeah, glad I'm looking good.
Your outfit's really masking it, you know?
That's the point of black. Well, that's why I wear black.
In underneath the surface, all the sensations are going on inside the body. A lot of noises you can't hear because the microphone muffles it out.
What do they call it? Hyper something.
Tension, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hypertension. Did you guys binge TV all weekend? I did a lot of that.
Oh yeah. Hook it to my veins this weekend. Yeah.
What you watching? What we watching in the house here?
Classic movies, probably like 20 classic comedy movies. Like you name a classic comedy movie, I watched it this weekend.
Nice.
I watched a little season 3 Selling Sunset.
Yeah, big time. Stuff that you'll never afford.
I know.
Yeah, those shows are infuriating because the houses are so expensive.
Yeah, and then you're just like, how'd they get the money? And it's always like, my dad. And then you're like, I give up.
I watched $1 Billion Island.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into the news. What's the news about today?
Oh, wow.
The news. We have 2 big stories. Mark and Wes are leading us off with the big action from the executive from the Oval Office, and then we got a lightning round with the Beeve and myself after that. So Mark,
we're playing tennis, baby.
Mm-hmm. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, so another week, another not resolution on COVID stimulus package from Congress, guys. It's been so slow moving in Congress, in fact, that Donald Trump said, fuck it. Since you two can't play nice, I'm going to sign an executive order that has even less than the Republican plan in it. And it's probably not even going to get through because some people are saying it's unconstitutional. But I'm not going to just do nothing like you, Congress. So he signed an executive order this weekend. Do you guys see that?
Kind of like the police thing, basically.
Yeah, just took like a couple of the highlights from what would have been in the police package and just signed an executive order because these guys can't figure it out in Congress.
I can't keep up with his EOs. EO, he's just like spitting them out. EO.
He signed one in my story too, so he likes them. He enjoys them.
He's still like on pace for like only like a quarter, I think, of Obama, right?
Mm-hmm. Right, definitely less than. I mean, he would have to do like a couple a day, I would imagine, or like a lot to get there. But so what happened on Saturday was Trump signed 1 executive order and 3 memoranda. So I don't know if that counts as 1 executive order or 4. They set him up with 4 documents, and he knocked down 4 little pieces of legislation here related to economic stimulus package type stuff. The first part. The main thing that Trump signed first is for an unemployment bonus. So remember, it was $600 on top of your unemployment for the first round of stimulus package. That lapsed starting, I think, August 1st or July 31st. It started lapsing. The Republicans asked for $200 in their $1 trillion package that they are getting shit on by the Democrats. The Democrats asked for the $600 to continue in their $3 trillion package. They can't meet in the middle. So as I predicted, Trump said, fuck it, let's meet in the middle. $400 $400 a week on top of the unemployment. And he said the federal government will kick in 300 of it, but the states have to kick in 100 themselves. So the governors might be upset, but $400.
Let me do an impression of the Hodge twins, now known as the conservative twins on YouTube. You get a bonus for being unemployed? Come on.
Exactly. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
There you go. Just get ready for that.
So the states have to kick in 100 of it. We'll see how that works. Funding for the federal portion of it is coming from FEMA's Disaster Relief Fund for 2020, according to Trump. He's so far we haven't had many disasters in 2020. It's been a pretty smooth year. So hopefully there's no fucking hurricanes, even though it's the beginning of hurricane season that hits, because he just took more than half of the FEMA budget for 2020 disasters and put it towards this unemployment thing. So we'll see.
Yeah, we're going to really be caught with our pants down if it's a bad hurricane and fire season.
I feel like this is not the year to gamble on disasters.
Yeah, what do you mean if? This is a certainty, guys. This is a motherfucking certainty. Hurricane season is going to have its way with America this year. That's just how it is.
A lot of people are saying that, but maybe not. Hopefully not. Then the second portion, so remember there's 4 things. So the second portion is on evictions. And it really, by the way, the $400 a week backdates to August 1st. So if this gets signed or goes through, they're dealing with it, you're going to get a big check if you're unemployed, whenever that happens in September or whatever. Second part, evictions. That lapsed on July 25th. Now people can get evicted. Did you guys see the videos of like the landlords going into the courthouse like on the 25th to try to evict people?
Oh, where they were excited to finally get some people out of there?
Yes, and they were blocked by a human shield of humans that just bullied them to go home, so they couldn't even get their evictions notice. And that's
what's
probably
the situation
illegal,
been thus far? Because I know they've been talking about eviction relief, but does anyone know like exactly like have you been able to evict? Has there been a stay on evictions?
Yes, since July 25th. Yes,
yeah, since July 25th.
And the EO signed it and said. It's up to the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Alex Azar, and the Director of CDC, Robert Redfield, to decide on evictions. We're not going to decide. We're going to let them decide. And if it's unsafe during COVID to evict people, then they can step in. But the part 2 was nothing.
For health. Oh,
so it's a pass the buck. Yeah. Pass the buck to health for the second part for evictions. Third part, student loan. Student loan interest will be waived until December 31st, 2020, as will payments, it sounds like. Payments are scheduled to start again on January 1st, 2021. But it's only for loans held by the Department of Education, not loans through a bank. So if you have a student loan through a bank, you're fucked. You have to deal with your own banks. Some credit unions and banks have their own relief plans. But the federal relief plan through the Department of Health and Education is to not charge any fees or fines or interest for student loans until January 2021. So that's part 3 that he signed. The last part, by far the most confusing
part. That's $12. That's a solid 12 that you get back, I'm sure. You're in just the interest, right? Not the principal.
Yeah, but you can defer the principal. I mean, you don't have to make a payment until January 2021.
Yeah, you could be late on all your payments until.
Yes. You can just it's deferred. So you'll still have to pay them eventually without interest, but you can take the next 6 months off, work on a plan to save up some money, start paying again January 2021. The fourth part, by far the most confusing. I was trying to talk to you guys about this before the show, and I didn't really understand it. I understand it a little bit more. It's called the payroll tax or the payroll vacation tax. Have you heard about this?
Trump loves the term payroll tax. That's all I know.
Correct. Yeah. And it's his brainchild. It's not. It's like his pet project. It's his brainchild. So I got into it a little bit, but essentially, high level, what it entails is starting September 1st through the rest of the calendar year, December 31st, they will, with the discretion of Secretary of Treasury Steve Mnuchin, they will basically charge you not much money at all in federal taxes on your paycheck. So if you get a paycheck, a biweekly paycheck, maybe a monthly paycheck, a weekly paycheck that has federal taxes on it, including Social Security and Medicare taxes that come out, you will not be charged nearly as much, and you'll have bigger paychecks for those 4 months.
I wonder if that applies to businesses too, because like if your payroll, if you're running a small business and your payroll is 10 grand of hard dollars that you're paying your employees, every payroll period, it's significantly more than 10 grand because you're having to pay taxes, you're having to pay workers' comp, you're having to pay into FICA and Social Security. So I wonder if it's being passed to the companies as well.
Well, it's specifically related to the amount of money that should go to Social Security. I think it's not anymore. I think it's going to the individuals that get the checks. Now, the other part that's confusing is, as of now, the verbiage is you will have to pay those taxes in those 4 months that you got off of without interest again in a future date. But
to pay him back in higher taxes later?
But Trump is saying no. If he gets reelected, no, he'll waive them permanently. They'll be forgiven.
Hilarious. But it won't be waived if he's not reelected?
Potentially. I don't want to it's confusing. It's confusing, yes. I mean, potentially none of this goes through because they're saying it's unconstitutional, blah, blah, blah.
Right, yeah. What's with the blocking? People are going to block
so that's the fourth one. You'll have to look into that one yourself. If you want to make more money on paychecks, Google it. Talk to your HR people because it's very confusing.
That's some
Oprah
shit.
If Trump gets reelected, it might be forgiven.
It's like you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. That's if I remain in the White House, you get that car.
That's the payroll tax vacation plan. That's an interesting one. Let's get to it. Congress would like you to know that the White House can't forgive taxes without congressional approval, which is like trying to guess Rumpelstiltskin's name at this point because they don't really approve much.
Shit, right? I mean, we just went over it. Like he's doing these EOs to taunt them basically on police and stimulus that they're just ineffective and unable to do anything.
How about do your job? So basically they're saying, all the funds need to be approved. Constitution gives Congress control over federal spending. So they're already crying foul. Nancy Pelosi is saying things like, my constitutional advisors tell me this is absurdly unconstitutional, and then follow that up the next day with what the president did is unconstitutional slop. Trump saying, okay, go ahead and sue me then, because that's going to be a very unpopular look if you sue the guy that's trying to give people money. So that part of it will be very interesting, whether it's constitutional or not. But
I think it's definitely not, right? Or at least it's seen.
Executive orders, I don't know if they override the Constitution or not. Like, you'd have to get into the legality of executive orders and how, like, I don't know.
I think what I remember, right?
Yeah.
So just like timeline, right? So like what was the first act that the Dems put forward? It was the HEROES Act, right? Is that what it was?
That's the second one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The first one, we got all of our money in March.
So that passed. Then the Dems brought a second act that the Republicans said
HEROES
no.
Act,
And then it was in the
$3.4 trillion. Yeah.
The ball was in their court to put together a counter, right? Something that they could work
did.
on.
And they did.
And they took
it
a
was
long
like
time.
the same as the police, where they just didn't
Yes.
see eye to eye, and then they just stopped.
Right, but I guess they took a long time to do that. And the last I remember Pelosi saying is when Trump was talking about an EO to bridge the gap, the Dems were like, no, that's just going to put a Band-Aid on it. But then they're still fighting in the Congress they just can't pass this fucking bill.
Correct. So you may have noticed that those are the four
Stalemate
things. I left out the $1,200 checks for the 100 million people, because that's not part of this executive order.
Right.
That will still be picked up starting today by Congress. And, they're supposed to get something done this week, but now they're shifting their focus to shitting on this executive order. So who knows?
Right. They're shifting their focus to never doing anything ever again.
Right.
Like they've been doing.
He's doing too much.
They need to fucking pass the checks. This is for people, that have student loans and I guess federal income tax. Like, you get a little bit more money, but it doesn't do anything with evictions. It doesn't do much. This is just kind of like I did something you didn't to Congress almost. Like, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We need those checks passed, Congress. So
Right. I want a check. I don't want like a
Right.
less coming out. I want a physical, like, that I can go cash.
Why are you
and
doing
see
the pulling down of a slot machine symbol?
Because that's a me grabbing a check.
Gotta go to YouTube, Hard
the
Facts YouTube
government.
to see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's it. There's those four things, and Congress still has to do their, entire thing. So we'll see.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah.
All right, let's move it over, guys. Do I got to do the?
No, it's not a lightning round.
No, it's not the lightning round yet.
okay.
You can.
That's coming
All
at
right.
the end.
Well, I just did. It sound pretty good. All right, guys. Thousands of young TikTokers may soon be evicted from their rented Hollywood mansions as President Trump on Thursday signed an executive order, another one that will ban the popular app, Chinese-owned app in America, citing national security reasons. Trump gave TikTok 45 days to sell its American assets to an American-owned company or face the ban. You guys
So
know anything
he had
about
announced
TikTok?
this, but he didn't put an EO, so he made it firm. This is firm.
Yeah.
Okay.
He signed it.
He made
penned
He
it.
had a busy weekend.
Yep.
A lot busier than me.
New Sharpies. Had to
Said,
get him
fuck
to
TikTok.
use.
So TikTok will no longer be allowed to receive advertising from American companies, and its 100 million users in America will no longer be allowed access to the app from iTunes or Google Store. So you won't be able to update it, and that will eventually make the app. It will just like self-destruct. It sounds like if you can't update it, it'll just cease to exist or
Really?
operate. Yeah,
I mean,
in America.
But that's kind of awesome that's how they're going to do it, because I was really afraid. First of all, whatever, hope it doesn't get banned or they work it out. But I was really afraid that they were going to have to go and talk to the cell phone service providers and the internet service providers and build in some sort of protection that doesn't allow you to access it from your phone, which is scary Big Brother shit. But I'm glad it's just not.
Yeah, no updates.
No updating is how they're going to take it out.
Yeah, that's how they're going to take it out. So
Yeah.
TikTok is saying they were blindsided by the executive order, saying President Trump, quote, paid no attention to facts, dictated terms of an agreement without going through standard legal processes, and tried to insert itself into negotiations between private businesses, which sounds like Trump's motto. They also said that,
he's also been threatening it like openly for a couple weeks. So it's hard to be blindsided by something that's been openly threatened.
No, they're full of shit. They saw it coming.
TikTok didn't do they didn't like kiss the ring at all. Like during this whole
No, they
process.
fired back and they were like,
Yeah.
USA is wrong for this. And then,
They weren't blindfolded or blindsided. They were cocky, and then they got crushed. Yeah.
Right. So they're saying it sets like a quote, a dangerous precedent for the concept of free expression and open markets. And it seems like they're going to just take this thing straight to the Supreme Court if they can, if it actually happens. So that's what they're kind of promising.
I hope so. That's a lot of coverage for us.
Yeah, for sure. So TikTok, I don't know if you guys know anything about this. They collect users' location data, internet search history, which a lot of apps apparently do. Frankly, I don't give a fuck. But the White House says that TikTok is different because their terms of service, when you sign up for it, says they can share that data with their parent company, which is ByteDance, and they could then hand over that information to Chinese officials who are communists.
CCP.
Yeah, and that's where the bad stuff comes in.
Can we stop calling them communists? Because it's like I feel like that was like the Red Scare era. Like Chinese is not a communist country any longer.
The Communist Party of China runs the country.
No, I understand, but the idea, it's a little bit antiquated to call them communists as a bad word. It's more like the dictatorship, the authoritative government.
Yeah, but communist just sounds so much better.
I mean, it's
also
a
the
little
Communist
old
Party.
school.
But they're the communists.
Right.
Okay, whatever. You're
Are
right.
you trying to say communist is like a word, like a racial slur that we can't use
No,
anymore?
I'm trying to
Like
say that the word communist was brought around back in the day to freak people out.
Yeah,
And,
but Xi Jinping is the emperor for life, or president for life.
He made himself president for life,
of
like
China.
last year.
No, China's bad, undoubtedly, guys. But I think
The government, the Chinese government. We're not talking about the people, right? Like the people
Right.
are awesome. I've had drinking, or the drinking competitions. The Chinese people are fantastic.
Like I
It's
said,
the
the
government.
Chinese officials who are commies. So
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Commies is better, I think. All right, so the big concern the White House has is
Commie
quote,
bastards.
is commie bastards. So the big concern is that the White House has is this quote. This says, quote, "This data collection threatens to allow the Chinese Communist Party access to Americans' personal and proprietary information, potentially allowing China to track the locations of federal employees and contractors, build dossiers of personal information for blackmail, and conduct corporate espionage." That's what the executive order says. So that's like the big deal. They're hinging everything upon that statement. That's why TikTok bad.
Yeah, boy, I hope that doesn't happen. You know,
Right. Yeah,
Hope that's not happening.
And blackmail? I love a little
Building a
blackmail.
dossier on everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Senate already ordered that no government-issued device will be allowed to have TikTok on it. So sorry, board Capitol police officers, no more TikTok for you. TikTok claims they have never turned over their data to the commies, but it is widely known that what the commies want, the commies get over there. So it could happen at any second. Anyway, yeah, there's one class action lawsuit by American families that said that TikTok is collecting data such as facial profiles of children and sending it to Chinese servers. I mean, that's no doubt. There's no doubt they're up to something. Not sure what, but it's something.
Like, remember the face? Remember the face app? Remember the face app that turned out to be just a Russian app? It's like it's so easy to take over America with just some like poorly written code that messes with your photos
again.
and get all the
It'll
data.
happen again.
It doesn't need to be
2020's proven anything.
Yeah.
It's that Americans are like the easiest to rile up about anything.
It's going to be like one of those games, remember, like the Flappy Bird where you go through the tubes that takes like 2 days to program and 2 billion people download it.
Yeah, it's
And
amazing.
they just get all your data.
You can drive us into a frenzy so easily with an app or just anything, really.
Yeah, our data is easy to get. But don't worry, Facebook has launched their TikTok copy, which is called Reels. And Microsoft is talking about buying TikTok, so you'll have an option to watch kids dance horribly 30 seconds, anytime you want, so everyone can just relax. But we'll see.
Instagram's like copying it already.
Yeah.
I mean,
It seems like one thing they did for sure is steal this idea from a Chinese company and just take it to America.
They
Like,
absolutely did.
That's one thing for certain. We're like, fuck you, we're taking this app.
Yeah, well, how do you like it taste your own medicine there, China? You know what I mean?
Right.
yeah, so that's what's going on with TikTok. And I guess we'll keep you posted. The 45 days. So in 45 days, hopefully this will be the last time we talk about it until 45 days from now. But anyway, let's talk about Daddy. So I think we've mentioned this before. I know, Will, you got this mysterious package on your doorstep and weren't sure who sent it to you. Well, apparently there are sponsors. And Daddy, guys, sadly, 1 in 7 couples experience infertility. Men are responsible for half of all known infertility cases, which makes
It's getting
sense.
worse too. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that stat makes total sense.
It makes total sense, right?
That's fair.
1 in 10 men are infertile. And Daddy's here to normalize the conversation around the male reproductive health. Daddy wants to make sure the process of fertility testing and sperm banking as comfortable, convenient, and cost-effective as possible. No longer do you have to travel to a sperm bank, masturbate in an uncomfortable room, and wait weeks to receive results. Now you can just masturbate in the comfort of your own home, which,
on your own chair, which is a big
Wow.
difference.
Yeah.
Think about that.
yeah, big
Being someone that's done both of these things, it's much better at your home.
Yeah, I mean, relaxed sperm are probably happier sperm. So, Daddy has developed a high-tech at-home sperm collection kit, which allows you to test and store your sperm all without leaving the comfort of your own home. You get your results within 24 hours of receiving your sample. These services through sperm banks usually cost thousands of dollars. So Daddy provides an at-home collection kit. We talked about it. It looks like a little, very, very high-tech, very, protected device.
It looks like
an
it makes
organ.
this sound when you open the capsule.
Right.
It's a lot like Terminator 2 when they go to Cyberdyne Systems and they go to where the arm's being held. It's like that. It's like that kind of security where there's like 2 keys that you have to turn at the same time for someone to get access to your sperm.
Yeah, it's the future of sperm testing and always will be, is what it looks like. It's always going to be.
It's
step
safer
ahead,
than
cut
in
ahead.
your balls.
Right.
When it's in the daddy container.
Exactly. So, you get that collection kit, a lab tested fertility report, free overnight shipping, and a free year of cryogenic sperm storage, all for $199, with an option to store sperm for $99 a year after the first free year. So. They'll hold on to your sperm as long as you fucking want. It sounds like no hidden costs or fees, and you can unsubscribe at any time. Because Daddy are huge fans of Barstool, they are offering our listeners a limited time offer for any new customers coming via Barstool podcasts such as ours, Hard Factor. We're providing $50 off their purchase. Go to daddykit, DADIKIT.com, and insert discount code FACTOR50 at checkout to order your kit today. I can't wait to use this thing and get my results back from Daddy, just see how potent I am. I mean, I know I'm potent, but I don't know how potent I am. Daddy's going to tell me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's such a good point though. Like they will tell you that, but when you go to like the sperm bank or whatever, and you go in the room, like all you're thinking about is how many other butts and nuts were on like the couch.
Oh, yeah.
Like I sat in like the cold floor, like in the corner. It was not great.
Well, that's
This
where you
is
feel most
discreet.
comfortable, Mark.
Yeah.
No, it's the same reason I won't buy a used chair. Let's take it to the lightning round, guys. Krause Baker Park in Fort Worth is in trouble after an ever-growing gang of nutria have officially taken over the park and are now running it, according to reports. The swamp rat, if you're unfamiliar, the nutria, if you will, are large rodents that can weigh up to 14 pounds and average about 20 inches in length. So big boys. Guys, nutria are known to eat up to 25% of their body weight a day, and female gang members can have up to 3 litters of up to 15 future gang rats per litter. That's 45 gang rats a year, and that's a lot. Many states have bounties on the pelts of these little fuckers, including Louisiana, which pays $6 per tail, which means you can eat the animal and get $6 to boot. So if you ask me, it's time to write your local legislator and get Texas to enact a bounty on these rat motherfuckers pronto will.
That sounds like
I'm
a
not-
stimulus package.
Yeah, I'm not eating those nutria. That's for sure.
But $6 a tail.
Waste not, want not.
So it turns out that the definite accident in the ignition of the Beirut port warehouse full of ammonium nitrate last week that set off like the biggest explosion any of us have ever seen on camera, probably. We can't actually be definitely sure it was an accident as of now. That's according to the Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper. So not only are videos of the explosion with UV filters and missiles causing the ignition circulating the internet, which according to CNN are just very good fakes, but Secretary of Defense Mark Esper has also confirmed that the U.S. cannot tell for certain what caused the ignition of the explosion as of now. He said that over the weekend, And I mean, it's just crazy. Like deep fakes are not making it easier. It can't be. It's like,
No.
it's weird.
For the rest of the time, it's going to be that video is fake or,
Everything.
everything.
Yeah, because it's like now
everything.
Now you see this video, you see the UV one, it's got like the missile stuff in it, and then you see other ones where it's like in slow-mo and you definitely don't see any missiles, but it's crazy. It's crazy how like these fake videos are such high quality now. Regardless, the death toll is at 158 as of the time of the recording with roughly 6,000 injured. So just horrific either way, but it's crazy that you can't diagnose it because there's all these conflicting, reports and videos.
Right.
Everything's like a immoral interrogation tactic where you have someone in a room for like 2 days and they start second guessing themselves whether they committed the crimes. Like everything is just impossible to decipher now.
Yeah, I'm gonna hire someone as soon as I have a little bit of cash to make sex deep fakes of me, sex tapes, just to get out there, just because if and when a real
You're
sex
trying
tape
to like
of me comes
Kardashian
out,
Motivate
yourself.
yourself.
flood the market, flood the market,
Yeah.
bud.
That's like a motivational thing. That's not a bad idea. Like if you're depressed, have like deep fakes of you boning like megastars and stuff, right?
Well,
like
it's like the Beeves version of the Ray J video, the Ray J sex.
right.
Right. It wasn't me.
It's going to launch.
Yeah.
launch
Dude,
his
it wasn't
career.
me.
The
Forever.
Ray J video, which is the biggest sex tape of all time and launched Kim Kardashian's career. Yeah, I think I want to have one of those.
That's what I'm saying.
Please do it, Pat.
Move over, Absolem the caterpillar, because there is a new evil caterpillar in town that doesn't smoke hookah and isn't addicted to opioids, but does stack its molted heads atop each other to make it look like it's got 7 fucking heads and is super tall. Scary shit. I'm talking, of course, about the Uraba lungens, who's native to the hell land that is Australia. Look, guys, like all insects, these caterpillars go through stages during which they shed their outer skins, including their head. And these sick bastards keep their old domes and give themselves increasingly sloppy top, claiming the nickname the Mad Hatterpillar. Just putting one on top of the other like a creepy, terrible Russian doll caterpillar with just the head. These little fuckers do
What's the point? Is it for a defense mechanism?
It's a
or is it
defense
scary?
mechanism, Mark. That's 100%. Who wants to mess with a dude who has 5 of his own heads stacked on top of his other head?
Fair enough.
Yeah, not me.
It's like a Lego man with like the heads just like
Exactly.
plugged into
Except
the other head.
Except at the top
They're
wheel
your
is a
own.
baby head.
It's like in Deadpool. He's growing his little head. I get it. Okay.
So don't fuck with that guy. By the way, that caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland was such a scary. But Alice in Wonderland is the scariest animated film of all time. I mean,
I
is
love
just
that movie.
terrifying.
Is it? Well, do you do Chief Mouser? Can I throw Chief Mouser?
Yeah,
in there?
yeah. What's up with Chief Mouse? We got noise.
Chief Mouser, the top UK top diplomatic cat, is retiring. So sorry,
In the
fans
UK?
of Chief Mouser. Yeah, in the UK. He's had enough. He was getting a lot of hate mail, and he's trying to relax in his later part of life, so he's retired. So
Just leave
August
Chief
7th
Mouser
was
alone.
yeah. Leave him alone, Chief Mouser.
him alone.
Go eat some nutria.
All right. Moving it on. The president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, is scheduled to pummel his electoral opponent again today in the Belarusian election. It was held on Sunday, and surprise, surprise, exit polls are showing Lukashenko beating his opponent with 80% of the vote and 65% turnout. That's pretty fucking incredible as of the time of this recording, which seems weird because there was a 63,000 person demonstration in the capital city recently against Lukashenko, and he's so scared of his opponent that she has to live on the run while her family waits out the election in Russia because Lukashenko is trying to detain her and her entire campaign staff the entire time in the lead up to the election. So
He's a tough opponent.
Detain them?
Yeah, you can't take
Detain
that away
them?
from him. He's a tough opponent. No doubt about it.
It's a her. She's actually running on behalf of her husband, who was like outlawed from running by Lukashenko first. So it's just a whole mess over there. While the official results will undoubtedly favor the Belarusian president since 1994, some are concerned Lukashenko may not be running the fairest elections over in Belarus, taking it to the internet. Arkady Ostrovsky says people are gathering on the streets across Belarus to protest against Lukashenko's blatantly rigged election, which gives him 80%, and Svetlana I don't know how to say the last name, 7%, the opponent. Lukashenko has
not
brought
even
in
close.
not even a blowout. Lukashenko has brought in the army and is turning off the internet.
It's hard to campaign when you're on the run.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to. They're trying to detain the entire family.
Yeah, they have to plan campaign events every day. There's a decoy and a real one, and you just hope that you luck out. Boom, 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 boom. A pro-government bat expressed his or her distaste for limited government recently when it bit libertarian presidential candidate Jo Jorgensen sometime on her campaign tour. This bat went right for her jugular. Jorgensen tweeted on Friday, "I will not be able to attend the campaign rally tomorrow morning. I will be getting a rabies vaccine as a precaution after having been bitten by a bat near the start of this campaign tour. So say goodbye to that excuse." She ruined that one, put a little bit too much heat on it. Take that off the table. How Jorgensen came into contact with the bat is unclear, but I think it might be wise to cross-check her schedule with Ted Cruz's to make sure she hasn't been infected with vampirism.
What are the odds?
Watch out.
What are the odds of like a bat bite versus like a shark bite? I wonder. Like, it's got to be pretty rare to get bitten by a bat, huh?
Well,
I would imagine bat bites probably a little higher.
A little higher, yes, but.
Yeah.
I felt the same way, Wes, and someone tweeted at her like, "I gotta ask, like, how'd you even get bit by a bat?" And Jorgensen was like, "Oh, I don't know. Have you ever been outside?"
Yeah, plenty of times. Most people get bit by bats. Yeah.
Never come
Have you ever
close.
vacationed in a cave?
Yeah, you don't want a libertarian with vampirism either.
Yeah,
they would
that's-
just be.
A libertarian with rabies, either.
You gotta
Neither
watch
of those.
out for those pro-government bats, man.
We did have a few people that reached out to us and said that they would train us on the ways of libertarianism after our last week's shows.
Yes.
Did you guys see that? Yeah.
Yes. It was very interesting. And they're basically strict, very strict constitutionalists. So strict, though, that they don't even want any rules added to it. So it's like even stricter than
Well,
the original.
hey, while we're at it, let's get trained in Latin, too. Will, what's the next story?
Come on. We got libertarian fans, my friend.
Because Pat's saying that they'll never outpower the two-party system, which, you know, I think that a lot of
taxation
people feel that way.
Yeah, that's true. Taxation as theft is a big motto. So they're probably pumped about the executive order, the tax payroll vacation plan. They're probably pumped about that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'd be pumped to never pay taxes again. But
Same here. That's by far their best platform.
that is
Would you be pumped to drive on roads, Will?
right. I get it.
Meh.
I get it.
Meh.
Let's
Eh.
I was thinking the same thing, Pat.
moving on in the lightning round to the last round of the lightning round. New Zealand, Christchurch, New Zealand. Not only has New Zealand not had a community spread coronavirus case in over 100 days now, which is like fucking incredible for any country. They also pay to have town wizards in at least one city of Christchurch, New Zealand. The thing is, the town wizard in Christchurch is 87-year-old Ian Brackenberry, who moved there specifically to get more into wizardry in Christchurch. And he's getting too old to do the job that pays $10,000 a year. So he's passing it along to 39-year-old Christchurch guitar teacher Ari Freeman, who is now officially the most interesting resume on earth, actually paid to shred guitar and cast spells about town. Pretty cool for Ari.
That's amazing.
yeah.
39's a baby in wizard years. Like he's just a tyke. Yeah.
He's got a lot to learn.
Exactly.
Yeah, not even at his quarter life yet.
Yeah, he's gonna turn himself into so many things by accident. He's gonna have to get himself out of it, like a frog or whatever. Like you're gonna have to figure this one out, Ari.
So many follies coming for him.
Yeah. But hey, look, you got to go where the industry is. You know what I mean? Like, if you really want to be the best at something, you got to go be surrounded by the best to make you better.
Christchurch is the capital of wizardry. Clearly, in the real world. So I mean, like Ari, he's got at least like 50 years of wizardry left in him. If Ian's tenure is anything,
I hope Ari plays black metal. I don't know what kind of guitar he likes to play, but I mean, it's gonna his wizardry is gonna lend itself most organically to him playing some sort of metal. Just pointing that out there.
I doubt it's Coldplay.
Yeah.
What do you think's a harder job, to unseat a sitting wizard or to unseat Lukashenko in Belarus?
wizard for
Wizard,
sure.
yeah. Yeah.
easily a wizard. You could drive him out of town pretty easy, I think.
You think it's easier? Yeah.
You just plan a fake story about what they did behind, and then
wizards are very susceptible to like child touching cases. You got to be careful.
You sow the seeds of doubt about the wizard.
Yep, big time.
Yep. But it's a good thing.
You put him on the spot.
Yeah, what's under that beard, bro? What's under the hat?
You could say that you are him and that he's switched with you. I mean, just right off the bat.
I'll be real honest with you. If you make up a story about a wizard molesting your child, who are you gonna believe? The wizard or the kid here? You know what I mean?
10 out of 10 believe the kid. Yeah. Well, but it's good for Christchurch though because their rugby
to
team.
Explain why he owns a comic book shop. I'm sorry.
The Crusaders, by the way, their rugby team's named the Crusaders. Talk about un-PC names. Crusaders? Whoa. But anyways, the Wizard is probably casting spells. The Crusaders just won their 4th straight Super 14 title on Sunday. So Christchurch doing big things in 2020.
Congratulations on your wizardry job. Your
10K a year wizardry job.
Everyone's sending him staffs.
What do you think his total is? How much guitar cheese do you think he brings in a year? So you
A
think
lot
it's like
more
25K
now, dude.
total?
Virtual
5K.
wizard lessons.
He clearly makes all of his money in private lessons for both. He gets confused on who's here for the guitar and who's here for the wizardry. He has to like change it on and off every.
It's a pretty cool job. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor this Monday. Be sure to sign up for the free 3-month trial at Barstool Radio on Twitter or Instagram. I'm sure the link is there. They have like a free 3-month trial going on. So you can listen to our radio hour from 10 to 11 a.m. Monday through Thursday on Power 85 Sirius XM Radio. Follow at Barstool Newsnet, at Hard Factor News, at Hard Factor Wes, at Hard Factor Mark, at Hard Factor Pat, and at Hard Factor Will on Twitter and Instagram. And most importantly, have a great fucking day.